Today I'm going to share with you some tools, techniques and products so you could be able to do a highlight using less time and creating a maximum impact. We will create this beautiful look together. I just used tin foil. That was quick, and I will share with you the technique that I use, the product that I'm using, and the reason behind that. And when we finish our highlight, I will tone it for you. You will see how we're gonna achieve this beautiful color. Hi, my name is Fatemeh Tabandeh. I am a matrix artist. I have been using matrix since 2017. I have been doing hair since 2009. With matrix, there are hair products for all type of hair and all type of textures, for any type of undertone. We are going to do a balayage technique on the side, highlight in the front, and I mix it with 40 volume developer because we are going to use an open air balayage. That's why I'm using 40. This is high riser. It's gonna give you like 9 level up lift in one seat. It has the pH boundary inside, which means it's gonna keep the hair integrity during the lightening. So you don't have to use to add any other bond protection to your hair product. You should be fine. And the mixing ratio that I want to use is 1 to 1.5. It's gonna give you that nice and creamy consistency. And here I'm going to share with you the list of the products that we need. Here is our sectioning. To the front we have 3 sections, one from the hairline and 2 behind that. We are going to use wigs and tees, and on the side I am using some balayage open air technique. So here we are going to have 2 sections on the side. One of them here, as you see, starting from the corner of our front section, and it goes to the back of the ear, and this is our second section. I'm gonna put that away. Load my balayage board. And take the section, the subsection, comb it, and hold it with my 2 fingers. The tension, having a tension on this is important. Lifting your hair a little bit, not too much, maybe 245-degree angle, and I'm gonna start from the corner about ½ inch away from the scalp, and start coloring. So having an equal tension on that area is important, because this way hair stays the way that you want it to be. And then I'm painting. This triangle has 3 points, as you see. Here underneath, she has some shorter hair underneath. That's okay, no worry about that. It has 3 points, 3 sides, 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna paint all 3 points. And if there is anything that you don't want to be here, you can use the back of your brush and clean that area. And I always keep a clean towel besides me. I could use it anytime that I need it. Same thing with the other side. Here, on top of ear, I start like about 1 inch away from the scalp, and I start painting by bringing my brush down. Saturation is very important when you are doing balayage. And when we get to this point, I paint the other point of the triangle which is here. I'm gonna bring that little shorter hair, bring it to the party. And paint, paint, paint. You can always just lift the hair to see how do you like the result, and if there is any part that needs to be softened, you could do that. But keeping the same tension on the hair is very important. Now to create more dimension and lightness, here you can just highlight those areas by putting your brush horizontally on the hair, not vertically, horizontally, and just put the lightener on that. Now we get to the bottom area of the hair. I'm gonna put more lightener here on the end. I'm gonna reload my board and lay it underneath the hair and saturate the end. Now I use the head of my brush to lift my section, to check the back of the hair to see if all those harsh lines are softened. When it's good, I put it on my board again and saturate the ends. I'm gonna put a piece of foil underneath and lay it down. Next section, here it is another triangle section, subsection with 3 points. A good tension is important. I start with the bottom point. Doing balayage at first might looks a little difficult and different, but by using that and practicing you get more comfortable. For this section again we are using same technique. We are going to paint our 3 points of this triangular section. First I put the color on the lower point of our triangle, which is under the hair, about 1 inch away from the scalp, and saturate that line and bring it gradually to the middle of the hair and then to the ends. Then I'm gonna place the next line on the next point of our triangle. If something goes wrong, no panic. This is balayage. It could be easily fixed by using the tail of our brush. Again, I'm gonna load my board. See how nice and creamy is the lightener? I love that. Just clean the brush and just get the same even amount of product on the brush. Having even amount of lightener on the brush helps to create a nice, beautiful line. Now I'm gonna go over the second point that I was created. I would like to have it bolder and a little bit thicker. It's like we are creating a V on top side of our section. When I'm done with saturating each point with the color, I'm gonna bring 3 points together and marry them together at the bottom of the section. You can bring your section up and see if you like it, if you are happy with the color placement. We're gonna just fade all those harsh area gradually and put the hair here on the board. I'm holding that with my thumbstick and using more products at the end of the hair by going up. I'm gonna fade that harsh line and then let this go. You don't have to be worried, they don't touch each other. If you would like, you can put another foil in between. I would like to see visually where they sit. And for the next part, we are going to mirror whatever we do on this side to the other side. Okay, now that we've got to the front sections, I am going to use different technique here. The product that I'm going to use is High Riser. Again, it's from Matrix. It is pre-bonded, which is amazing. You don't need to add any bond protection to it, and it's gonna create 8 level of lift. I'm gonna mix it with every volume developer, cream developer, and the mixing ratio is 1 to 1.5. It gives me that creamy, nice consistency that is easy to work with. Who can tell me why we use a lower level of developer on that area? Yeah, because the hair is finer, and because of the natural heat that our body create on that area. If I want to use it on a real person, I would use a 20 volume developer for that front area. It totally depends to the diameter of the hair. Here the hairline is that area is very wide, so I'm gonna use 2 foils, one on the left and the other one on the right. I'm gonna make it to 2 sections. I'm gonna grab my section, and the thickness on that area is just less than 1/4 inch. I'm gonna comb it, hold it, and use my comb and do some macro highlight. I'm gonna grab a foil, put it on my comb, fold that area, bring the hair up, put the foil underneath, and lower the hair. And slowly I'm gonna take my comb out of that. I'm holding it with good tension, and I'm gonna load my brush. Make sure to saturate the hair with lightener completely. Fold it once and twice, and then use my comb to fold these 2 sides, and it's gonna stay nicely. Next section. Here I'm gonna comb my section. The thickness of the hair should be the way that you could see through it. Again, I'm gonna bring it higher, put it here. I'm gonna load my brush with my lightener, nice amount of hair product, put it in the middle of the hair, put my hand underneath, and hang the hair. And one more time, making sure you have enough amount of product at the end of the hair. So we hold it once and then twice, and then I'm gonna use my comb. I don't press my foil, just hold it nicely and softly, so it won't create any unevenness in that area. So now that we are done with the front, for that area I am going to put more space between my foil, take my section horizontally on top of the hair. I'm going to use some macro weaving again. As you see, I'm going to put my foil underneath, fold it on my comb, bring it to the roots, and load my products. So the processing time for High Riser is 15 minutes with no heat. So I'm going to use my brush to the left and right, making sure that the products gets everywhere. And then we fold it. Like that. On this section I'm going to use a chunky light technique. taking my section and teasing it. I'm going to put the comb in the middle of the hair and push it down. 1, 2, 3. I can see through my section. As you see, bring the hair down, put my lightener, and saturate the hair nicely. Usually when I come with a higher, but fade it to the top. That way. This is where the more lightness would be at the end. And gradually when it goes higher, it would be softened. And then we are going to fold the foil. Same technique here. I'm going to use some chunky light or bring it here. And use the teasing technique. Push the hair back. One more time. So here, if you like, you can keep all those teas back. And apply your product. We got 2 foils on the top that we used teasing technique on that, and we have 3 foils in the front. 1, 2. Now to create more dimension at the ends of the hair, something that could marry to the rest of the hair on the side, I'm gonna bring the hair which is left out of the foil, bring them together, tease it a little bit. And I'm using my 40 volume developer. Use my lightener on it to create a nice and lighter ends. And gradually I'm gonna fade it to the root, to the top of the section. And put my foil underneath and slide out my balayage board. Same thing to the other side. I'm gonna mirror it here. This time I use 1:2 mixing ratio. Use my light master with 40 volume developer. As you see, it's a little bit thinner and it's easier to get through all the hair. And when it's finished, I'm gonna put the foil underneath and close the foil and let it process. I'm gonna show you the finished product, and as you see, look how much lightness we created with just 10 foils. Okay, let's have a quick recap. First, we started by sectioning. We had a triangle section on the top and 2 sections on the sides. I used open air balayage technique on the side. What I used was high riser with 40 volume developer. For the front area, we had 3 foils in the front. For that one, I used light master with 30 volume developer. The 2 section in the back, on top of the hair, we used weaving and teasing. And whatever the hair is were left between the foils, we brought them together. We made it divided to 2 parts and teased it a little bit and applied our product to it to create the maximum impact at the ends. And as you see, when it comes to the top, it gradually goes darker, which is very pretty. This is a low maintenance highlight. And for hair color, I used these two color from Matrix. This is Tonal Control. This is the acidic Demi color, which is used for toning after highlight. What I use for toning this hair, I use 7GM, which is 7 gold mocha. They call it Miss Mocha. I mix it with 9V. This is the product, and it has a good smell. It's very shiny and beautiful, and you can see the actual color when it comes out of the tube, and it has a bigger size of tube. I use half of this 9V and half of that 7GM, 7 gold mocha, with equal part of 10 volume developer. I took off all the foils, rinse it. I use my purple shampoo. What I use on it, I use brass off shampoo, which I have one of them here. I'm gonna show it to you. I love this to cancel all those yellow pigment that is remaining in the hair. And then I towel dry it and use my color on it. I left it for 20 minutes. I use 2 formula, one for the top, from the top to the middle of the hair, and at the end I use the same formula, which was half of 9V plus half of 7 gold mocha plus the same amount of clear. I applied it to the ends, and this is the final result. Please follow me on social media and come and say hi. I would love to hear from you. I appreciate your time, and I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you.